Hello, welcome back to my channel, it's Learning Economics with Sadaf. Today I've decided to do a question about utility maximization and budget constraint, and we are supposed to find optimal amount of code X and Y. How much or what's the optimal bundle or combination of code X and Y a consumer should choose in order to maximize its satisfaction. In this case, we're gonna draw a budget constraint. We'll put indifference curve over here and find out optimal amount of y and x star in here. Okay. There are two ways of finding these quantities. First one is put their slopes together. Slope of indifference curve equal to slope of budget constraint. One way is so that, another one is through Lagrangian function. I have just done that Lagrangian function. You can go and check that video out. In this case, I'm gonna put slope of IC equal to slope of budget constraint, or I'm gonna put MRS equal to MUX MUY, that's the slope of indifference curve, equal to slope of budget constraint, which is price ratio of good X and good Y. Right? So let's start with our step one. In this, I'm gonna find out MUX and MUY. Marginal utility of X tells us how much utility will change when code X or one more unit of code X is consumed. Looking at this utility function, it looks like xy plus x. I've taken x inside the parenthesis and multiply with y and then x, and then we can easily take its derivative. X would become 1 minus 1, y stay as it is. Same would happen to this x as well. So we get x naught y over here and x naught over here. In the end, it's just y plus 1. That's our MUX. Then we can do the same thing and find MUY as well. For MUY, we're going to do the same thing. We are interested in, or its interpretation would be, how much utility will change when a consumer decides to consume additional unit of Y. I'm going to look at this utility function and take derivative now with respect to Y. Y would become 1 minus 1, X stay as it is. This X doesn't have Y in it, so it's going to be 0. In the end, we'll get X with the power of 0 or just X. So that's MUY. Now we can move to, we've calculated MUX and MUY. We can move to step 2, which would be put this together and find out MRS. MRS would be MUX over MUY. Put the value of MUX, which is y plus 1, and MUY, which is x. Right? We can also further simplify it from here. That's when we're going to move to jump to step 3, which is price ratio or slope of budget constraint. Slope of budget constraint is price ratio of code X over code Y. We know that price of X is 2 and price of Y is 1. So put it equal to, together like this, it's 2 over 1. Now we can move to step 4, equate these slopes together. MRS equal to budget constraint. Then both of these are slopes. For MRS, it's y plus 1 over x. And on this side, it's 2 over 1. Cross multiplied, we'll get y plus 1. Multiply with 1 would just give us y plus 1 and 2x from here. Bring 1 to other side, so we get value of y from here. Now we have one value of y in term of x. We can put this value back in budget line. And from here, we can find value of x or y. In that case, we'll find the value of y. So that's our step 5. Write down budget constraint. For budget constraint, we already know that p of x is this, p of y is 1, and income level is 20. So my budget constraint should look like p of xx, p of y times y, and income level. Replace these values, 2x, 1 times y, which is equal to 20. Now plug value of y that we have calculated earlier in this equation. Instead of y, put down 2x minus 1 multiplied with 1, and this whole thing is equal to 20. Or it would be 2x plus 2x minus 1, which is 20. 4x, bring 20 or 1 to other side, it would become positive, and we'll have 21. X will be 21 over 4. So that's x star. You don't have to further simplify to say that that's how much consumption of x would happen, 21 over 4. Keep that in decimal and fraction. If you want to convert it into decimal, you can do that too. Now you know what x star is. You can put that in, write down x star value in this equation, 21 over 4 minus 1. This can simplify. It would be 21 minus over 2 minus 1. You can further simplify it by taking LCM. Be 21 minus 2, and you get 19 over 2 as y star. So in the end, you can say that this consumer will maximize its satisfaction if this consumer decides to consume 21 over 4 units of x and 19 over 2 units of y. Alright, that's our x, that's our y star. And graphically, you're suggesting that y should be around 19 over 2 and x should be around 21 over 4. And I think this procedure is much simpler as compared to Lorentzian, but both of these give you same value. I think this is the end of this video. I hope you understood this. Thank you very much for taking a moment to watch my video. Hope to see you soon.